Hey, good morning. It's Wednesday, isn't it? And Paul and I have been kind of clearing the area around the studio out of a lot of like junk growth and added it to the dike. So what I'm going to do now first is do a little tour along the dike. It's finally, it's starting to look like a dike a little bit. Even though this is going to take some. Do stuff. Eventually, I'm hoping to get to 2.5 feet of height all the way around. Now, this is the higher side of the ground, and I'm walking now towards the lower side of the ground. And so we kind of cleared last week all this like growth, these tall grasses and weeds and junk trees around here. And this is the lowest part, and so we cut down a dead tree and put it on here. So that's a pretty high. Of course, if a flood would come, it would take it right off. This it would take just the stem right off and it will float away. But hopefully, before a storm comes, there will be enough like stuff growing around it, so it will keep it down. And this back. This actually is the entrance to my studio here. There's a wall going across there. This part is going to be a ramp eventually once probably once you get a little higher, pour a little concrete, but just a little access to the lower part over here. It's where the land is lowest and the creek runs behind there, and the land that you're looking at right now is that is where the floodwaters run normally, except like with Irma in 2017. It got like so high it came into the studio, but in other in other like flash flooding events, this land closer to the lower land closer to the creek was that took care of it, and it never got to the studio. So and this part is next in terms of adding to it, because it's kind of low, and I just cleared this whole area out, and there's a lot of like dirt accumulation on this part. So I'm thinking once I get a little energy, and I'll pick up a shovel and take maybe like 2 inches of dirt off of here and put it on top of the dike, and that will build this corner up. And behind the studio here, obviously not so much stuff gets added on here, but the good thing is when I built this concrete section here, I took all the dirt up that was going up to the studio. I took that out, and so this is at least this part of the dike is solid, and so no water will leak through it. And this it's almost at the same level as the concrete that I poured. And what did I do? 20, maybe 20 inches above ground level there. So that's where I'm at right now with the dike. So hopefully we won't get another big flood anytime soon. Eventually, it'd be nice once it gets a little higher, get a little more dirt on it. It'd be nice that this actually would become a walkway. It's kind of doable here, over on the other side where I started with this little dike tour. You can't like walk on there. It needs to be like bent down. This is a fun little piece. I didn't want to throw it out, but I installed a spiral staircase in the studio to have access to the second floor. And the spiral staircase that I got off Craigslist was a bit too tall, so I cut it, the spiral staircase. And I didn't want to throw out this like last little section that I cut off of it. And so I just kind of kept it, and it somehow just like ended up leaning against here. And I think, you know, this is a concrete slab I'm standing on behind the studio now. And I could simply put a couple of bolts into the concrete and it can stay right here. And this then would be a step up to the dike that hopefully will get like this big, and so it's a nice entry to the path that the dike is going to be. And, around a little further, really a great going food tree. So also last week we finished the outside. Well, finished. I wouldn't call it finished, but for now, everything has a coat of paint on it. All the rotten wood has been replaced. So the you know, the bottom half of the studio I did already 2 years ago. I got a nice coat of paint. Did many repairs. So eventually, hopefully, I'll get another patio here for the second floor, but you know, that is probably another like 2 or 3 years before that'll happen. So our focus now, and it's, you know, about a month away from the opening of the space. The focus is now on going to be on the inside. But I'll figure I'll walk you around outside, you know, before. Colin and I are moving inside to work inside and finish it up, to give you a little tour outside. So this obviously still needs to happen, and I'm planning on having the electricity hooked up next week, maybe in 2 weeks. Well, for sure, but in 2 weeks. And so I'm pretty sure. I couldn't find a link for this box, but I'm pretty sure the city is going to want to replace this, or the electric company is going to want to replace this box anyway, with a meter and all that. So anyway, that'll be next, and then light and air conditioning inside the studio. Back side, all floor there. So this one, there is a patio, and it's pretty bad, but the structure is not bad. So this is one thing that I'm going to do sooner rather than later, is just to replace the wood, and before the structure goes bad, and you know, I'll fix that. That's probably doable with relatively little money and effort, so I don't have to worry about this thing falling apart. Oh, there's another boss pass too. I didn't know about this one. I'll get some spray. I'll do that. So. I've been showing you just my. I've been painting now this little area here. It's now early in the morning. What is it? Like 8:30, 9 o'clock or something. And it's in full sun now. But this is like the shady part of. And I've been painting outside in the shade here. So I used to sit in a tent to paint up front, and the tent is not going to go back up. But this used to be my little section. This table, by the way, I mean, it's rusty, but it's been outside for like 8 years, and so it's a really good table. So I'm thinking just putting a little sander to it and a coat of spray paint, and it will be the table for inside the studio. I have matching chairs that go with it too. The only thing is missing that broke at one point is this half moon piece of glass. So. It's a little later in the day now, and Colin and I have been picking away at removing the junk in this space. There's still, you know, little bits and pieces around, but that's manageable. Now the studio is of course full with stuff, so this needs to be completely cleared out, this space, for drywall, mud and painting. This particular one is, I'm still searching for a door online for this panel, electric panel. Ceiling. That's where the track lighting, I just bought the track lighting too, it's gonna hook into. So that's all next week's work. And here's still a bunch of junk. I actually added more to it because I dragged some old paintings out to get good photographs of it. So that's why these larger paintings are here. They're stored elsewhere. So that's the inside. That's next week. In the meanwhile, let me walk outside. I have also, this same day, see now I got shade here. It's 12:30 or something. I got plenty of shade here in the back. I've finished this painting now too. Let's see here. Here's that. And do it like straight on. There's that painting. And it's I've been experimenting with these double portraits and, you know, different ways of like dividing up the canvas into two even sections. And this is the first time that I experimented with using a full image. So a photograph, the source was a photograph found online, like they usually are. That was already a double portrait. It is a Russian anthropologist and a Chukchi storyteller who is being recorded by the anthropologist. And so the finishing touch here now was to give a transparent wash, a coat of like transparent white on the right hand and a transparent coat of brown on the left hand to separate it into two panels. But it's really one image. But I didn't want just the one image. I wanted it separated. So I lightened the right half and I darkened the left half. So this is like my little area in the shade. It's more comfortable until the air conditioner is hooked up. It's more comfortable to work out here than inside my studio. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I will be recording again in a couple of days and keep you updated how the inside is going, and then hopefully I can all welcome you here within a month when I open the first exhibition to be held inside the space. So thank you and have a wonderful rest of the week and weekend.